Hi there, welcome to another video from Hegarty Maths. It's Mr. Hegarty here, our first video on multi-step angle problems. Make sure you've watched all the previous building blocks. Let's get on. Here's our first question. Pause and have a go. So we're told that ABC lie on a straight line, so that's a straight line. We're also told DCE lie on a different straight line, so there you go, there's another straight line. And we're asked to work out x, but also to give our reasons as we go. So let's start off and think how we're going to get this angle here, x. Well, to get that, it'd probably be useful to know that angle, and therefore it might be useful to know this angle here. So we're going to try and get that angle, try and get that angle to try and get that angle. So why don't we call that angle here A and this angle here B and see where we get to. So to try and get A first, I can say that this angle, this 127 plus A, must add to 180 because angles on a straight line sum to 180. So just to write it out in its angle form, I can state that angle ABD plus angle DBC is equal to 180 degrees, and then the reason I'm going to put in brackets below it is that angles on a straight line sum to 180. Therefore I can state that 127 plus my A must be equal to 180 degrees. Taking off 127 off both sides, I get that A is equal to 53 degrees, and I've got that angle there, which is great. What can I do next? Well, this angle, this 70, add this angle now which I know is 53, add this angle which I don't know, must add to 180 because they are in a triangle. So I can state therefore that angle DBC plus angle BCD plus angle CDB must add to 180, and the reason in brackets is angles in a triangle sum to 180. So therefore, substituting in, I can say this one which I knew from above is 53, so 53 degrees, plus this angle which I don't know is B, plus this angle which I do know is 70, they must sum up to 180 degrees. Collecting this one and this one, 53 add 70 is 123, so I can rewrite this as B add 123 is equal to 180, and subtracting 123 from both sides, I get that B must be equal to 57 degrees. So now I know that one now. Because I know that one, B and X must add to 180 because they lie in a straight line. So let's write that out properly. I can therefore state that angle DCB plus angle BCE must add up to 180 degrees, and the reason is angles in a straight line sum to 180. And therefore, continuing my work over here, I would therefore say that this angle B which I found is 57 degrees, therefore, plus this angle X must be equal to 180. Taking 57 off both sides, X must therefore be equal to 123 degrees, and we're done. Next question, pause the video and have a go. So here we're told ABC lie on a straight line, that's a straight line. We're also told that BD equals CD, so this length here, B to D, is the same as this length here, C to D. And we're also told that angle BDC, so BDC, BDC, this angle here is 40 degrees. And ADB is 20, A to D to B, this angle here is 20 degrees. And we're asked to work out X, and we're also told to give reasons, so we're trying to work out this angle here. So let's think how we must do it. To get that angle, I have this angle, but I don't have this angle in the triangle with X, so it might be a good idea potentially to get that angle. Also, it might be a good idea to get this angle here, which by the way is the same as this angle because this is an isosceles triangle here. So if I call this angle here, let's say A, and I call these two angles B, they're isosceles. If I find A and B, it might help me find X. So let's give that a go. So what I can do is I can say to myself that if I consider this triangle here, that's an isosceles triangle. So I can state that angle DBC must equal angle BCD, and I can say DBC is an isosceles triangle. So I'm just going to write that in brackets. Now, then I can say that this angle here, this 40, add this B must add to 180 because they are inside a triangle. So let's state that next, that angle DBC plus angle BCD plus angle CDB must add to 180. And the reason is angles in a triangle sum to 180, so write that in brackets. So, following through with that idea here, I can say therefore this angle here is B plus another B plus 40 must add up to 180. Collecting like terms, I've got 1B and I add another B, so that's 2B. So I can say that 2B plus 40 adds up to 180. I can take 40 off both sides and I get myself that 2B must equal 140. Divide both sides by 2, I get myself that B is equal to 70 degrees. Okay, so that's 70 and that's 70 there. And there's different ways now I could get this answer. I could say I could work out A and then use that to get X. So why don't we do that? So I'm going to go over here now and do some extra working, and I'm going to say what is this angle here? Well, angle ABD add angle DBC must add to 180. So angle ABD plus angle DBC must add to 180 because angles in a straight line sum to 180. So therefore I can say that this angle here, A, plus B, which I know is 70, must add to 180. Taking 70 off both sides, A therefore must be equal to 110 degrees. So now I've got that angle. And lastly, I can say X add 20, add this, must add to 180 because they're in a triangle. So I can say that angle DBA plus angle BAD plus angle ADB must add to 180, and the reason is angles in a triangle sum to 180. So therefore I can state angle DBA is this one is A, which I've just worked out is 110 degrees, plus BAD is X, plus this one here is 20, must add up to 180. So 110 add the 20 is 130, so therefore I get that X add 130 is equal to 180 degrees. Taking away 130 from both sides, X is therefore equal to 50 degrees, and we're done. Next question, pause the video and have a go. Okay, here we're told to work out X giving reasons, so we're trying to work out that angle there. So X here is part of this triangle, so it might be helpful to work out that angle here, which I might call, let's say for argument's sake, A. It might also be therefore useful to work out this angle here, which is going to be, let's call it B, let's say, because that might help us find A. And I'm going to call this angle, I don't know if I need it or not, I'm going to call this angle C for argument's sake. Alright, so let's give this one a go. I'm trying to find X. Why don't I start by trying to find A and B, let's say. Now, you must note here that we have an isosceles triangle. That length and that length are the same, so this angle here and this angle will be the same, 70. So B will be 70 straight off the bat. So I can state that B must be equal to 70 degrees, and I can state that this triangle is isosceles. So I can say that two angles in an isosceles triangle are equal. Okay, so I've got myself that this is equal to 70 degrees. Now I should be able to find A now because A and that 70 lie on a straight line. So I can state that this angle here, A, plus angle B, which is 70, must be equal to 180 degrees. And the reason is angles on a straight line sum to 180. So therefore, taking 70 off both sides, A must be equal to 110 degrees, which is fantastic. So I've got A is 110 degrees as well. And I've got myself a triangle here with one angle 45, one angle 110. So I should be able to work out this angle X. Because what I can say is that the angle X, which I don't know, plus A, which is 110, plus this 45, that must add up to 180 degrees. And the reason in brackets is angles in a triangle sum to 180. So, therefore, adding these two, I would get that X add 155 would be 180. And taking 55 off both sides, I would get that X is therefore equal to 25 degrees. And we're done. Next question. Pause the video, have a go. So we're told that P, Q and R make up a right-angled triangle. So let's just put in the 90 degrees here. That must be 90 degrees. We're also told that R, S and P lie in a straight line. So R, S and P, this one here, is a straight line. And we're also told that PS equals SQ. So P to S, this part, this section here is equal to this section here. And SQR is equal to 26. So let's put that in. S to Q to R, this angle here is equal to 26 degrees. We're asked to find RPQ, which I'll probably call X. So R to P to Q, this angle here I'll call X, giving reasons at each stage of our working. Okay, so let's think about how we might do this. We know this angle is 90, we know this one's 26, so this one should be quite easy to find, which I might call A. Once I've found A, this one here, which I'll call B, should be quite easy to find because it's on a straight line. And once I've got B, this is an isosceles triangle. I know that angle also must be equal to X, because that side and that side are the same, so that angle and that angle must be the same. So once I know that angle, I can work out what X must be. So let's go ahead and try and explain our working. So the first thing we're going to say is that angle SRQ plus angle SQR plus angle RSQ must be equal to 180 degrees. Angles in a triangle sum to 180 is our reason. So SRQ is that's 90 plus SQR is 26 plus angle RSQ is A must be equal to 180 degrees. Adding these two up, I get 116 plus A is equal to 180. Taking 116 off both sides, 64 degrees. Okay, so now I've got this angle here, which is 64 degrees. Next, I can state that this angle and this angle add to 180 because they're on a straight line. So I'm going to state that angle RSQ plus angle PSQ is equal to 180 degrees. Reason, angles in a straight line sum to 180. So therefore, I can write that 64 add B is equal to 180 degrees, and taking away 64 off both sides, I therefore get that B must be equal to 116 degrees. Let's continue our working over here. I've now got that this angle here is 116 degrees. Now, I've got a triangle here, it's isosceles triangle, so that's X and that's X. I better state that because it tells me to state my workings and my reasons all the time. So let me just state that angle SPQ is equal to angle SQP, and the reason is that triangle SPQ is isosceles. Lastly, I can say this angle and this angle and this angle add to 180 because they're in a triangle. So I'm going to state that angle PSQ plus angle SPQ plus angle PSQP add to 180, and the reason is angles in a triangle sum to 180. So therefore I can state that PSQ, this angle here, is 116. So 116 plus this angle here is x, plus this angle here is also x, must add up to 180 degrees. So 116 plus 2x is equal to 180 degrees. Taking away 116 from both sides, I get that 2x is equal to 64. Dividing both sides by 2, I get that x is equal to 32 degrees, and we're done. And that's it for this particular lesson. Thanks for watching.